This right here is everything that I normally eat in a single day to fuel my running and lifting and to try and lead a healthy life. So anyway, let's get rid of all this crap. And this is what I'm eating today, ultra-processed food. Although these items might look like food, they're not. They're in fact industrially produced edible substances, and they make up over half the calories we consume each day in the West. And the evidence base that these foods are damaging our health is growing. I'm going to go about my normal day of training, which involves some weightlifting and some running. I'll be fueling those workouts with these ultra-processed foods. And by the end of today, I hope to get to the bottom of exactly what harm these foods might be doing to us, and how we might go about fixing that. Right, so first up is breakfast, and usually what I might have is something like some granola with some fresh blueberries and some full-fat yogurt, but that involves far too many whole foods for today. So what I'm actually going to go for is some Fuel protein-boosted granola. I might usually have a coffee, but apparently coffee is a bit of a superfood, so I've gone for Starbucks coffee with milk. I'm going to have some protein-boosted yogurt as well with the protein granola. I'm ruling out any chance of me ever getting a sponsorship from them. I'm also going to top that up with a Huel, don't know what it is, nutritionally complete meal. So by this point you might be wondering what actually is an ultra-processed food, and I will pop up the official definition up here, but it's a little bit wordy, so a sneaky way of figuring it out for yourself is to look at the ingredient list on any food that you think might be ultra-processed, and basically if there's a significant number of ingredients that no regular person would ever find in their kitchen, then it's almost certainly ultra-processed. Aside from banana, I wouldn't even know where to go, and I'm not even sure if it has banana. Nope, it doesn't even say banana on here, so that's 0 out of 0 for me. Let's have a try. To be honest, I can't complain. It was actually all quite tasty, if a little artificial. And time for me to head to the gym now. There's a growing body of evidence that these ultra-processed foods are harming us and leading to conditions like high blood pressure, obesity and heart disease, even when controlling for their salt, sugar and fat contents. So what is it about UPFs that cause them to be bad for us? Well, it's a combination of things. Yes, they often do have high levels of salt, sugar and fat, but they often lack fibre and micronutrients. They have lower water contents, which means they're more energy dense and are more prone to being overeaten. And the additives that some UPFs contain are thought to be potentially harmful in themselves. But I also want to know if all UPFs are as bad as each other, or whether we can trust brands to tell us which are safe and can form part of a balanced diet. So the point of this video isn't for me to eat total crap all day. I've tried to stick to the products that use buzzwords we associate with health, like high protein, low sugar or plant-based. Is it possible for ultra-processed foods to form part of a balanced diet and leave you healthier than if you weren't consuming them? That's what I was trying to figure out. So we'll finish up at the gym and now deciding what I want to have to eat. I've got one of Grenade's Jaffa Quake protein bars here, and you'll be just as surprised as me to hear that Jaffa Quake is in fact not a natural flavour, which really surprised me. But so it's now time for lunch. I've got a chicken smoked bacon meal deal sandwich from Tesco, some chickpea falafel rolls, kind of from the plant-based range, and because I might usually have a salad at lunch, I'm gonna get the closest ultra-processed alternative, which is some reduced fat coleslaw. Bottoms up. Oh yeah, and to wash it down, I've got some of this orange and pineapple cordial. So I've just got to a cafe to do a little bit of editing for this video, and I might normally order something like a flat white or a cappuccino, but today I've gone for a, wait for it, oat milk decaffeinated hazelnut syrup latte. Bit of a mouthful. Well, I think it's safe to say that no hazelnuts were actually harmed in the making of this coffee. So it's 10 to 4, I've just got back from the cafe and it's absolutely cracking the flags out there, so I'm going to head out for a run. I feel pretty well fueled so far. I'm not feeling hungry or like I need a snack. I feel like I've got plenty of energy. I do have a little bit of a headache. That could be because I've been staring into the sun for the last hour at the cafe. It could be the Red Bull and copious amounts of caffeine I've had today. Not a particularly scientific observation, but make of that what you will. When I first learned about the dangers of UPFs, I was conflicted. I'd been eating these foods for most of my life, and I was still pretty sure I was healthy. So did I really need to make a change in my diet? I think this is common thinking amongst a lot of people, and when you're bombarded with new information that potentially clashes with what this brand is telling you, or this fitness influencer is saying, it's confusing. This lack of clarity helps to create apathy amongst a lot of people, and a feeling that the evidence isn't as clear-cut as it actually is. These so-called healthy UPFs I was eating today were probably better than others, but the jury's still out on whether they're a net positive to your health. Either way, I've actively tried to reduce the proportion of ultra-processed foods I eat, but I don't think this one change means I'll automatically live to 100. There are thousands of different variables contributing to your health. It's just right now, on the balance of probabilities, I think this is a good thing to do for my own longevity. And at the least, it's unlikely to be harmful if I get less xanthan gum in my diet. So I've just got back from my run, and at this point I'd usually have like a small bowl of dried fruit and nut. So to substitute that out, I've got a Eat Natural protein pack bar. And to wash that down, I've got a nice glass of sugar-free and decaffeinated Pepsi Max. So cheers. I'm literally getting cool adverts as I'm eating these.
I think once you try it, you'll understand what happens.
So I've got my dinner here. It smells pretty nice, but as you can see, it's a pretty small portion. So for my snack tonight, I've got Lindor's protein pudding. Don't know if you can see that. I don't want to pour it out. I've opened it already. High protein, low fat, low sugar. That's what I need. So with that finished, that's everything that I'll eat today, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow and let you know how it all went. So what did I learn from this last 24 hours? Well, I learned I was able to eat a range of healthy UPFs and have enough energy to run, lift and work. I felt largely the same as I do on any other day, and thankfully I didn't have a heart attack or stroke. But in the long term, if I was to continue eating such a high proportion of ultra-processed foods in my diet, would that be making me less healthy? Well, probably. And I used to take my good health for granted and thought because I worked out or had visible abs in certain lights, that meant I was healthy. But I came to realise that my good health had more to do with being in my early 20s and the fact that I benched 3 plates in the gym. At university, I'd binge drink most weekends, I'd sacrificed sleep for social media, I avoided cardio like the plague really, and I ate a diet that was predominantly full of ultra-processed food. Yes, part of being healthy is maintaining a normal weight and doing regular resistance training, which I was doing, but it's also so much more. It's making sure you get enough sleep each night, it's taking care of your mental health, reducing the amount of alcohol that you drink, it's choosing to not smoke, doing regular cardiovascular exercise and probably 10 other things. And by the same measure, I came to realise that it's also important to consider what form the calories that you're consuming are actually taking. I'm sure that some UPFs are better than others, and the evidence base at the moment talks about the dangers of UPFs as a whole group, and isn't specific enough to split them into which particular UPFs are worse than others. The point is, I've tried to approach this question of good health with a long-term view of things and a more holistic approach. I'm an individual with a number of different ways I could be making positive changes to my lifestyle, which are personal to me. I'm just trying to shine a light on one of the many ways that you could be doing that. So try not to compare yourself too closely to others and focus on what steps you can be taking to be better tomorrow. I know that sounds cheesy, but I think there's real truth in that. That may be eating less of your diet in the form of ultra-processed foods, but that might also be starting to get back into aerobic training, prioritising your sleep each night, or trying to quit smoking once and for all. There's not one single magic fix that will suddenly make you objectively healthy, and oppositely, there's not one single habit that makes you irredeemably unhealthy. There's a lot of different bases to cover, and it can take a lifetime to figure it all out. And if you're looking for a helping hand to make some positive changes to your diet or training, well, this video might be for you. But otherwise, I'll see you again next time. Peace.